Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm the Bat Otter, and I'm here with another comic book review. This time it's going to be on the Expendables Go to Hell, a Comicsgate, I guess, property by Richard C. Meyer in collaboration with Chuck Dixon, Graham Nolan, and Sylvester Stallone for an actual Expendables property in comic book form. Uh, Everybody who knows about this, I mean, y'all know that it started last year, and the campaign is actually a year and a half late. I just got the variant cover a couple days ago, and honestly, the wait for the book was probably one of the most annoying things because there would always be an update, and Meyer would say, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be next month." Next month, I kind of just got used to seeing next month and being like, "Okay, I'm sure it'll get here eventually." Like, obviously, he's gonna deliver, but at this point, I would be better off not getting updated uh, about the book than getting an update saying, "Oh, it's been another delay, another delay." But honestly, I didn't mind the wait too much, other than, like I said, the annoying part with always being updated and always being told, "Oh, it's gonna come at this date." And ultimately, if he would have just said, "Hey, I have no actual idea whenever it's gonna be ready," and just waiting until it was ready, to me, that would have been much better than getting an update all the time and then missing the date every single time over. But other than that, that's really the only problem of the service with the book, in terms of being an Indiegogo property and not something that you go over to the store and buy. It's my first book that I'm buying off of Indiegogo, and so it wasn't the greatest experience getting it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's here. So the book itself, it was really, I wouldn't say exciting, but whenever I got the book in the mail, I just took it out, opening it up, and it was real cool to get this book. It's real high quality. If you don't have it and you're thinking in comparison, DC, whenever they were putting out the Last Night on Earth by Snyder and Capullo, it's the way that it's been bound and the kind of book that it is, the way it was printed, is a lot similar to the uh, the single issues of that series. It's got the same kind of cardstock cover with the nice glossy interior pages, or not glossy, but you know the what's in between glossy and matte. I don't know the exact word for it, but it's really high quality printing, and there's absolutely nothing. I mean, this is professional quality. You'd get this from DC and Marvel. So obviously, it comes with the book, and you get two posters: a poster of the Expendables here, and the poster of the cover that you ordered. There were, I believe, six different covers that you could have chosen from. I chose Meyer's variant. I liked it the most, and so yeah, you get the two posters. They're pretty big. You get little trading cards of the characters from the movies, which I always thought trading cards were weird for stuff like this, but you know, if you're into that kind of thing, they're there. You get this nice sticker of this real nice painting. I don't actually know who painted this, uh, but it's really awesome. Like on it, like this is, if I wanted a sticker of anything from the book, this would definitely be it. I mean, as you can see, the detail, it's really good. It's a really good sticker. So I'm gonna put it somewhere real cool. You get a unit patch for the Expendables themselves. You get dog tags with the names on them. With, as you can see, Sly Stallone, Chuck Dixon, Richard Meyer, and Graham Nolan, which really cool. And you get a bookmark in case you need it. You could read it in one sitting, honestly. Uh, but opening all this stuff up, it was fun. Like opening it up and getting all these little trinkets that I'm probably not going to use aside from the sticker. Uh, but it, like having all that extra little stuff, I feel like that's what it's little incentive. So that way I know the next time that I order something like this, I'm probably not going to get this much stuff with it, but I know that I'm going to get little extra stuff. And you kind of forget about that and you don't really know exactly what you're going to get. So I feel on top of the book, getting those little extra things, it's a better incentive to go with something like Indiegogo because it's not like going to the comic book store and just getting this comic. You get these little extra things. To me, that's something that more people should do, and it's a real good incentive. I know they do it in Japan with the manga because I keep up with JoJo, and over there, in their shonen publications, they'll give little stuff like this their in the manga. So yeah, that's a real cool thing. I really like it. Is basically what I'm saying. So the book itself, getting away from all the extra stuff, the book itself, it was pretty good. Just to paraphrase before we go into it, it was funny. The art was pretty solid, and the only complaint I have is the ending, but we could get to that when we get to that. So starting off, you have the establishing scene with them fighting just a bunch of terrorists. They're talking, and this guy gets the jump on him. He blows him up, and Sylvester Stallone wakes up in hell. And for a large majority of the book, it kind of swaps between artists on the different subplots it's going after, which it's pretty smooth transitions. You always know exactly where you are in the story, and it's a really good at keeping you in the know. You know what's happening all the time. It's not confusing. It's not jarring, and sometimes it is a little bit difficult to identify the artist. So we get into it. Stallone meets Audie Murphy, who's one of the most decorated war vets. I had to look that up, actually. There are a lot of people in here that I had to look up, which is funny because I thought I knew a lot about history. Apparently not. And they start fighting through hell with giant war elephants, these muscle cars with machine guns on the back of them. And all of the Expendables just kind of meet up with each other and join up and start fighting. They set up this story plot of them having to go over to this hill, this one right here, for some reason. So one of the things that I will mention about the storytelling in the book is it's really solid. This isn't going to be a Dark Knight Returns or something huge and something that you've never seen before, but it is very solid storytelling. It has setups, and it keeps you intrigued because it'll add little features here and there that are like, oh, we have to get to this mountain. And sometimes whenever writers do that, they'll try to make it seem interesting. They'll be like, we have to get to this mountain. I wonder why. And they ultimately fail because it's like, well, why do I care? In this case, the way that they set everything up is very well written. With all the setups and through the dialogue, it really smooths things out to the point where you're like, oh, I'm interested now. Why are they doing that thing? Why do they have to go here? Why do they have to do this? Why do they have to do that? Or what does this thing do? And it keeps you interested and it keeps you turning the page, which is a really important thing that not a lot of writers know how to handle. So that was a really good aspect of the book. And of course, I'd say it's almost like a fan fiction because they could pretty much do whatever they want with the characters, and it would make sense because they're in hell, and this version of hell is, well, you have people from all different eras of history there, so you could just do whatever you want with it and use whatever scumbags in history you might want, whatever monsters. It's a playground. It's a sandbox for a creative writer, which I believe that Dixon and Meyer are indeed creative writers, just based on this alone. So without breaking it down bit by bit, it's got quippy dialogue. It's fast paced. The pace keeps on moving. You're never really that confused about things, as you shouldn't be. The art styles consistently change, and one thing I will say about each of the art styles, I'm not sure who the editor was on the artwork, who oversaw the artwork. I mean, obviously the artist, but ultimately, when you show the art to the writer, whenever you show the art to the editor says, move this over here, and then do this and do that to finalize it, right? I'm pretty sure it's Meyer. And Meyer, based on watching his videos, your boy Zach, he has a very good understanding of composition and how to compose an image, an illustration. And looking at some of the compositions made in this book, and I don't want to take any of the credit off of the artists. I'm sure that the artists have an equal amount of skill when it comes to composition. But knowing Meyer's history and seeing his art critiques, he has a very good understanding of composition. So in a lot of these pages, especially those splash pages, which I could probably pull one up just as an example, you'll find that there are really... Here, this is an excellent page. It's a really good composition on the page. It flows well. It does what it's supposed to do. if you just follow all the paths, you can get that motion. They're rolling the dice as you're coming down here, and it makes it flow better, is what I'm trying to say. And this goes all the way up into this pose right here with the two of them, and with the clothes, with the hair, it just flows really well. There's this real nice like curve to it. It's really good. It's hard to describe things that are really good. I've said that like a million times before, but it's true. So yeah, if you're into art, if art is a big thing that you like to look for in these books, the art isn't gonna be Jim Lee. It's not gonna be uh, anything like that, Mark Silvestri. But it's good art. It's solid. It does its job, and it conveys the ideas that it wants to express properly, the way that it should. You're never confused. It's really solid, and that's the best way to describe this. Going towards the end here, so earlier in the book, with I think is that I don't think it is the blonde guy. I don't actually watch. I've seen one and a half Expendables movies, so I don't know all the characters aside from Stallone and Statham, and then I don't even know their names. So I just got this book because I thought it'd be fun. So this guy, he gets set up earlier where he makes a deal with the devil, and he gets all these evil dictators from history. Uh, and it's like he's going to do a betrayal, but then he betrays the guys he said he was going to betray, uh, blowing them up after making a deal with the devil. And where was I going with that? I'm a great reviewer, guys. I'm so glad that you guys keep on watching me. But going on, we have the Spear of Longinus. I think that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure because I watched Evangelion the other day. So, I'm up to date on my Bible history, right? Which is given to Sloane's character. And it seems like this thing can kill them for good or give them salvation, as the samurai puts it here. But either way, it's another MacGuffin of the story where he needs it and he needs to keep it because it's going to do something important at the end. A good setup. It's like, oh, it keeps you wondering, what is this spear going to do? Why do they need it? And you'll see later why they need it. It's a good little mystery. It's a good little thing that they introduce stuff like that throughout the story to make you keep on turning the page again and keep on getting interested in what you're reading, which again, it's a really good method of writing, especially in the script. So as I'm going page by page here, I'm kind of going towards the end. These introduce older Expendables villains that they've killed in previous movies that want to go after them. And so it's here that we kind of get to the end of the story. Hitler gets decapitated, because of course he would, and the samurai goes out like a samurai, and I think that's Liam Hemsworth, that character from the newest movie. I saw that one. I saw him die. He's dying again, naturally, and then we get Satan finally, and they all get saved. Did I? Yeah, I'll spoil the ending. I just did. Yeah, and they're all back to life. They're just like, oh, we were dead, but now we're not. And let's drink. Yeah. And that's the end of the story. So with that ending, I'm like, that was cool. Like, the story, it almost felt like it was setting up a battle with Satan, but then they leave right whenever that thing's gonna happen. A little bit anticlimactic. Everything was going good. It was really solid, and then it just ends out of nowhere. I didn't really hate the ending, but I kind of wanted to see a fight with Satan because I anti-spoiled it for myself by looking at one of these back art pages, and I saw this right here with Stallone facing this abomination, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna do something like Dante's Inferno where the devil is like chewing up all of the scummiest dudes in history. You have Vlad the Impaler, Hitler, and I think that's he's the guy from earlier in the story, the Roman. I'm blanking on his name again. But I saw this and I was really excited. So I guess I kind of hyped myself up for an ending that didn't exist. So I think that kind of fed into the anticlimactic feeling that I got. But other than that, like I said, the storytelling really good. And yeah, and then of course you get this black and white art at the back of the book, which I always personally enjoy. And like I said, scattered throughout the book, you just have excellent, really solid artwork. It's not going to be anything that's you're going to put up in the Louvre, but it's most certainly artwork that you enjoy. And again, I can't stress enough, the compositions in this book are excellent. They're amazing. I love them. They're so incredible, and you could learn so much from them. With all the different artists. So, like I said, whoever the editor was, whether it was the editor, the artist, whatever the case might be, excellent choice in composition. I cannot stress that enough. And again, the storytelling really solid, and it's really better than anything you would get from a comic book store today. Like, if you were to buy this and read this completely blind, you'd enjoy this more than you'd enjoy something that you would blindly get in the comic book store today. You could go in there, just grab something random off the shelf, and I guarantee you the writing in here is going to be better, the art is going to be better, the composition is going to be better, and the storytelling is going to be better. And it's this nice, well put together book, high quality. It's a little pricey, but in the market that it's in, the Indiegogo kind of area, it's a pretty good price. And you're going to enjoy this more than you're going to enjoy a random comic book from the store, which says a lot about comic books in the stores right now. But I mean, you could go over that all day. So definitely, I mean, I don't really think that you could get it, so I couldn't say go get it. But if I could say that, I would. It's definitely a good book, really solid. It knows exactly what it is. It isn't trying to be anything that it's not. It's very self-aware, and because of that, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's well put together. So that's my review on this book. Like I said, if you could get it, get it. And if you get the opportunity, go get it. Definitely check out your boy Zach's channel. He's the guy who hosted this campaign and helped it make it happen. Obviously, the guy who drew this cover. And while you're at it, go check out my campaign. You can definitely get that. My storytelling, it's going to be just as succinct. Composition's just as great. Man, y'all are going to love it. You like this, you'll love my stuff. So go back that. It's the Challenger. Link is going to be in the description. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter now. It's the Bat Otter on Twitter. You'll know it whenever you see it. And definitely Instagram as well, Bat Otter 157. And other than that, like I said, excellent book. I really enjoyed it. Ending anticlimactic again, but other than that, completely solid book. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy.